Hey YouTube, this is the Robinhood investor. Hope you had a great day of trading. As always, I really appreciate your support. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about investing, subscribe to this channel. Today I'm going to talk about several companies that reported earnings today. That includes Microsoft, Alibaba, Facebook, Visa, and Boeing. Earnings reports are important to follow because they provide insight on historical performance, typically on the previous quarter, and future guidance, which includes information a company provides as an indication or estimate of its future earnings. First, I'm going to review the performance of the 5 companies and then talk about each of the earnings reports. First one being Microsoft, ticker symbol MSFT. So past week, down 3.2%. Past month, up 2.17%. Past 3 months, down 3.33%. Past year, up 10.92%. And past 5 years, up 180.69%. Next is Facebook, ticker symbol FB. Today this did really well. One-day performance up almost 16%. So 4% during the day, and then almost 12% after hours. Past week, up almost 16%. Past month, up 24.76%. Past 3 months, up 10.7%. Past year, down 10.6%. And past 5 years, up 206.49%. Next is Visa, ticker symbol V. So Visa past week, down 1.19%. Past month, up 2.89%. Past 3 months, down 2.53%. Past year, up 9.42%. And past 5 years, up 144.03%. Next is Boeing, ticker symbol BA. So Boeing is up, it spiked up earlier today. Past week, up 8.24%. Past month, up 21.22%. Past 3 months, up 8.68%. Past year, up 14.54%. And past 5 years, up 184.2%. Last but not least is Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. Today, up 6.34%. Past week, up 10.29%. Past month, up 17.79%. Past 3 months, up 15.23%. Past year, down 17.63%. And past 5 years, up 80.22%. Next, I'm going to go look at the earnings reports, starting with Microsoft. So Microsoft beat by 1 cent, but misses on revenue. So for Q2 non-GAAP earnings per share, it had a $1.10, beat by 1 cent, and GAAP earnings per share, $1.08, it missed by 1 cent. And revenue of $32.5 billion, and that's up 12.4% year over year, and missed by $40 million. So a little more in depth on the quarter. So as I mentioned, earnings per share estimates beat by 1 cent with $1.10, and narrowly missed revenue with a report of $32.5 billion. That's 12% up year over year. And looking at each of the business segments, looking at productivity and business processes revenue was $10.1 billion. That's up 13% year over year, and versus the consensus of $10.09 billion. With Office Commercial up 11%, and then Office Consumer up 2%, LinkedIn up 30%, and Dynamic Products and Services up 17%. Next is intelligent cloud revenue, total $9.4 billion. That's up 21% year over year with a consensus of $9.28 billion. With server products and cloud services up 24%, driven by Azure increases of 76%, down from the 98% growth last year. And enterprise services were up 7%. Last but not least is the more personal computing revenue. That was $13 billion, up 7% year over year, with a consensus of $13.08 billion. Windows OEM down 5%, Windows Commercial up 14%, Service up 41%, Gaming up 9%, and Search Ads, excluding TAC, up 14%. Operating margin was reported at 31.6%. And a little more about the guidance. So that's it's the estimated future performance. Guidance revenue of $29.4 billion to $30.1 billion with a consensus of $29.83 billion. And a little more revenue guidance, productivity and business processes, 9.9 to 10.1 billion. Intelligent cloud, 9.15 to 9.35 billion. And more personal computing, 10.35 to 10.65 billion dollars. Next is Facebook. So Facebook beat by 20 cents and it beat on revenue. So Q4 GAAP earnings per share of $2.38, beat by 20 cents, and revenue of $16.91 billion. That's up 30.4% year over year, and it beat by $510 million, which is really impressive. And then in terms of a little more information about the earnings beat. So as I mentioned, revenue rose 30% to $16.9 billion. Mobile advertising revenue made up 93% of ad revenue, up from the prior year's 89%. So majority of the revenue is advertisement revenue, and net income jumped 61% to $6.88 billion. Income from operations rose just 6% to $7.82 billion. And operating margin fell to 46% from 57%. But a sharp drop, 66%, in provision for income taxes made a big difference. So taxes definitely had an impact on Facebook as a business. And daily active users were up 9% year over year in December to 1.52 billion users on average. And that's a very big user base, and that's global numbers. I think that's across the board of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Actually, no, I correct that. So the company says it also has 2.7 billion people using the company services each month. So that's Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or Facebook Messenger, with at least 2 billion using at least one of the family every day on average. So they have a large user base. It's a matter of monetizing on each of these users with the ad revenue. Next is Visa. So Visa beat by 5 cents and also beat on revenue. Q1 GAAP earnings per share of $1.30, beat by 5 cents, and revenue of $5.5 billion, up 13.2% year over year, and beat by $90 million. And a little more information. So this is a pretty good growth stock. So as I mentioned, EPS of $1.30, beat by consensus estimate of 5 cents. as the payments volume grew 11% year over year. Cross-border volume increased 7%, and processed transactions rose 11%. And the net revenue increased by 13% to $5.5 billion. So breaking down each of their business segments, service revenue of $2.3 billion, up 9% year over year. Data processing revenue up 15% to $2.5 billion. And international transaction revenue up 11% to $1.9 billion. Next is Boeing. So Boeing beats by 91 cents, beat by 91 cents and beat on revenue. So Q4 non-GAAP earnings per share of $5.48 beat by 91 cents, and GAAP earnings per share of $5.93 beat by 83 cents. So revenue of $28.3 billion, up 14.3% year over year, and beat by $1.4 billion. So Boeing up 6.6% on record quarterly earnings. So earnings grew 8% year over year to $5.48 per share. So looking at by segment, commercial airplanes were up 14%, defense, space, and security up 16%, and global services up 29%. Booked 262 net orders in Q4 and delivered 238 commercial airplanes, including the delivery of the 787 Dreamliner and the first 737 MAX Boeing business jet. And in terms of backlog, it remains robust with more than 5,900 commercial airplanes valued at $412 billion. Last but not least is Alibaba. So Alibaba beat by 9 cents but missed on revenue. So non-GAAP earnings per share of $1.77 beat by 9 cents, and GAAP earnings per share of $1.84 beat by 69 cents. Revenue of $17.06 billion, up 42.6% year over year, but missed by $380 million. So it was a good profit beat. As I mentioned, up 43% year over year. And revenue breakdown, looking at the core commerce of $14.95 billion, up 40% year over year. Cloud computing up 84%. That's $962 million. Digital media and entertainment up 20%. And innovation initiatives and others up 73%. So overall, this is even though it missed on revenue, it's a solid growth stock and good exposure to the international market, especially the Asia Pacific, China. So that's all for this video. Which stocks are you looking at and which earnings reports are you following? Comment down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to learn more about investing, subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.